Welcome back to Africa Folktales Stories channel. If you are new on my channel, please click on the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and watch this story to the end. So, as requested, here is the part 2 of my previous uploaded story. Please watch to the end because you'll gain a lot from it, and feel free to share your thoughts about the story.
The door did not open gently. It slammed back against the wall. Obinna stumbled into my shop smelling of cheap gin and sweat. His shirt was torn at the shoulder. His eyes were red and wild. In his right hand he held a cracked phone like a weapon, the screen already glowing. For a second nobody moved. The bitter leaf soup was still steaming on the table. Mama Nena held my wrapper tight. Chuka stood halfway up from his chair, his plate shaking. Obinna looked around and laughed. A dry, ugly sound. Family meeting. Good. I love family meetings. Zion stepped in front of me. He did not raise his voice. Obinna. Ah, billionaire. Obinna sneered. Your father threw your mother out like trash, and now you are feeding him soup. And you, he pointed at me. Auntie Tami, the great Ashawo of Enugu. Do you know how many people still believe you carried another man's child? Chuka moved faster than I have seen him move in 15 years. He grabbed Obinna's collar. Shut your mouth. That is my wife you are talking about. Ex-wife. Obinna spat. You threw her out. I helped you. Mama Nena made a small cry in her wheelchair. Ifeoma tried to calm her. Obinna shook Chuka off and held up the phone. I have what you all need. The original video from New Haven 15 years ago. Not the photo, the video. I was hiding in the corridor that day. My heart stopped. Amara grabbed my arm. Zion held out his hand, steady. Show me. 20 million first, Obinna said. Transfer now or I send it to Instablog, Linda Ikeji, and Vanguard. By morning, Nigeria will know that Zion Okoye is the son of a woman his grandmother paid a nurse to disgrace. Chuka's face turned dark. You did what? Obinna pressed play and turned the volume up. The small cracked screen flickered. A younger Mama Nena in blue lace stood in a clinic corridor. She slipped a white envelope to a nurse in white. I recognized her immediately. Sister Joy, who checked my blood pressure that day. On the video, Mama Nena's voice was clear and cold. Take this 2,000. When my son asks, tell him you saw his wife enter a hotel at Presidential with a man. The nurse hesitated, then nodded, and took the money quickly. The camera shook as Obinna moved behind a pillar. Then Dr. Emeka appeared, holding my elbow as I swayed. I was clearly pregnant, clearly sick, clearly in a hospital, not a hotel. Obinna's voice whispered behind the camera. Perfect. The video ended. The shop was silent except for the soup bubbling and the clock ticking on the wall. I could hear my own heartbeat in my ears, loud like drums. The smell of bitter leaf suddenly made me sick. This was the same soup I had cooked for the woman who bought my pain with 2,000 naira, the price of a plate of rice then. I could not breathe. My chest was tight, like someone tied rope around it. For 15 years I imagined what happened. Now I was watching my destruction being bought for 2,000 naira. Tears ran down my face hot and fast, burning my cheeks the way the rain burned that night. You watched me, I whispered to Mama Nena. You watched me suffer and you paid for it. Mama Nena shook, tears falling on her wrapper. Chuka fell back into his chair like someone hit him. Mama, you paid someone to lie against my wife. You made me throw out my pregnant wife. Obinna laughed again, enjoying the pain he caused. And he did it. Like Mumu. So, billionaire 20 million. Or I post the full version tonight. Zion did not blink. He stood still like a rock in a storm. He looked at the phone, then at Obinna, then at me, with eyes that did not shake. You think you can blackmail my mother with the truth that will set her free? Zion asked quietly. Obinna frowned. What? That video does not shame her, Zion said. It shames you. It proves my mother was innocent. The internet does not care about truth, Obinna shouted. They care about scandal. Chuka stood, his fist shaking. Give me that phone, Obinna. Obinna pushed him hard. Chuka stumbled and hit the table. Plates shook. Ifeoma screamed. Two of Zion's security men stepped in and held Obinna's arms. Ifeoma stared at the frozen video. Wait, that nurse, Sister Joy. That is Joy Okoro. She was my senior at UNN. She is now matron at LUT. She grabbed her phone and dialed on speaker. A woman answered sleepily. Hello? Joy, it is Ifeoma Okoye. I am watching a video from New Haven 15 years ago. You took money from my mother to lie against my brother's wife, Tami. Silence. Then a sigh. Ifeoma. God forgive me. Yes, I took 2,000 naira. I was young and needed hostel fees. I have regretted it every day. I kept the original file. Tami Okoye. 14 weeks. Father's name written as Chukuma Okoye by the patient herself. I covered my mouth. Chuka made a sound like a wounded animal deep in his chest, a sound I had never heard from him before. Obinna struggled. Delete it! Delete it! Zion took the cracked phone from the guard. As he held it, a notification popped up. Upload complete, one file sent to Vanguard News Tape, Instablog 9, JADM, Gislover. Obinna went white. No. I set it to auto-send if I did not stop it in 5 minutes. Zion looked up slowly. His face was calm, but his eyes were fire. He turned the phone to me. Mommy, he said softly, by 6 a.m. Tomorrow, every blog in Nigeria will have the video of grandma bribing a nurse to destroy you. They will have your name. They will have my name. The story you hid for 21 years will belong to the whole country. Amara whispered, Jesus. Mama Nena slumped, her hand clutching her chest. Chuka looked at me, then at Zion, then at the door. I felt the old rain on my skin again from that night in Enugu, cold and heavy. But this time it could not wash me away again, ever. But this time I was not alone. I was standing in my shop, with my son beside me, with the truth in my hand. Zion squeezed my shoulder. We have tonight to decide. Do we let strangers tell your story with lies, or do we tell it ourselves first with truth? Outside, a car horn honked. A crowd was gathering at the gate. Phones out. Obinna laughed like a madman. You are finished, billionaire. I looked at my son, the boy I raised on Gary and prayers, now about to fight the biggest battle of his life because of me. I took a deep breath, wiped my tears, and said, bring me my good wrapper and my phone. If Nigeria wants to hear the story of the woman thrown out pregnant, they will hear it from my own mouth, live, tonight. Amara tied my good wrapper around my waist with shaking hands. The blue and gold one I saved for church harvest and burial cloth for Mama Carol. Ifeoma wiped my
What are your thoughts about the story so far? Please, pardon me, I don't have enough visuals for the story, please. Just listen to the audio and God bless you. Stay blessed, please.
face and powdered my cheeks like she was preparing a bride. My hands would not stop shaking. Zion set his phone on a small tripod on top of my old sewing machine. He opened Instagram Live and Facebook at the same time, his fingers steady. Mommy, are you sure? He asked quietly. I looked at Chuka standing by the door holding Mama Nena's wheelchair like a penitent. I looked at Obinna held by security, his cracked phone now in Zion's pocket. I looked at the pot of soup still steaming. For 21 years, I whispered my pain in the dark, I said. Tonight, Nigeria will hear it in my own voice. Zion pressed go live. The red light blinked. Numbers started climbing fast. 100, 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 inches. 1 minute. I took a deep breath and spoke to the camera like I was speaking to that young girl in Enugu standing barefoot in the rain. My name is Tami Okoye. I am a tailor in Yaba. 21 years ago, I was married for 7 years to a man I loved with everything. I could not give him a child. His mother moved into our house and told him lies every day. When God finally gave me a pregnancy, after 7 years of prayer, his mother paid a nurse 2,000 naira to say she saw me in a hotel with another man. My husband did not ask me one question. He pushed me, 4 months pregnant, into the rain at night with only my Bible. Comments exploded like fireworks. Hearts flooded the screen. 50,000 watching. People were typing, "We are with you," from Lagos, Abuja, London. I held up the faded hospital card from Park Lane. I held up the tiny booties I bought for Chuka's birthday that never happened. I raised my son alone on a sewing machine in Asaba and Lagos. His name is Zion. Today he is 21. Today his father sat in my shop and ate the food I cooked. Zion turned the camera to Chuka. Chuka fell to his knees on my cement floor, live in front of 80,000 people, his shoulders shaking. "Tami, forgive me," he cried. "I am a foolish man. I chose my mother's voice over my wife's truth. I have lived in hell since that night. Every night I see your face in the rain. The numbers hit 200,000. My phone was shaking in Zion's hand. Ifeoma held her phone up. "We have Sister Joy on the line." She put the matron on speaker. Sister Joy's voice shook with tears. "My name is Joy Okoro. I am a matron at Lut. 15 years ago, I took a bribe to lie against Tami Okoye. I am sorry from my soul. I kept her file because my conscience would not rest. She was pregnant for her husband." The comments turned to fire. Number Justice for Tami started trending #1 in Lagos and #2 in Nigeria. Obina shouted from the corner, "You think this life will save you?" Zion looked at him calmly and turned the camera to Obina's sweaty face. "Nigeria, this is the man who filmed my mother being set up. He tried to blackmail us for 20 million tonight." The live hit 500,000 viewers. My small shop had never held so many people, Amara whispered, tapping her phone. "Tami, Vanguard just posted the bribe video." I nodded, my voice steady. "Good. Let them post it. Let them post mine beside it." I turned back to the camera. "I did not come here to destroy my husband's mother. She is old and sick. I came to tell every woman watching who is being called barren, who is being pushed out, that your pain is not the end. God sees you, even when men close their eyes." Mama Nena lifted her good hand and tried to speak. Her voice was broken from stroke. "Forgive." I went to her wheelchair, knelt on the floor, and held her hand live for 1 million people to see. "I fed you tonight, Mama. I will not curse you tonight." The viewers went past 1 million. Comments prayed for me. Then the shop door opened. 2 policemen in black walked in. Zion had called them earlier. Obina Okoye once said, "You are under arrest for extortion and conspiracy to defame." As they cuffed him, Obina screamed, "You will regret this. I have more. Ask her about the second scan." My blood went cold. Before I could answer, Ifeoma's phone rang again. She answered and her face drained. She handed the phone to me. "It is the hospital." A doctor's voice came fast. "Are you family to Nena Okoye? She just collapsed. We need consent for emergency surgery. Her heart is failing." Chuka stood up, panicked. "Mama!" Zion looked at the live, running at 1.4 million viewers, then at me. "Mommy, go. I will stay and finish the live." I grabbed my wrapper and ran out with Chuka and Ifeoma, pushing Mama Nena's wheelchair into Zion's car. Amara stayed to watch the shop and the phones. At Loth, doctors rushed her in on a stretcher. Chuka paced the corridor, praying out loud for the first time in years. I sat on a plastic chair, my phone buzzing with thousands of notifications. Number Tami Speaks was #1 in Nigeria. Ifeoma showed me her screen. Blogs had posted both videos side by side. The comments were not laughing at me. They were calling me strong, calling me mother of the nation. A nurse came out after 30 minutes. She's stable for now. She's asking for you. Only you. I walked into the cold ICU. Mama Nena lay small in the white bed, tubes in her nose. She opened her eyes and saw me. She tried to lift her hand. I took it. Tami, she whispered, clearer than she had spoken all night. The file. Joy kept. There were twins. The world tilted under my feet. What? I breathed. The scan showed 2 heartbeats, she forced out. I told Joy, I tell you, one died. I was afraid you would take both my grandchildren away. My knees gave way. I grabbed the bed rail to stand. Where is the other baby? I choked. She closed her eyes, tears slipping. Obinna knows. He took him. The heart monitor beeped faster and louder. Behind me, the door opened. Zion walked in, his face pale. Mommy, he said, holding up his phone. Someone just commented on the live with a photo. A boy who looks exactly like me, same age, in Enugu. His name is also Zion. He says his mother died last year and his uncle Obinna raised him since he was a baby. I stared at the photo on his screen. It was my face. It was Chuka's face. It was 21 years of lies staring back at me. Mama Nena squeezed my hand weakly and whispered, Forgive me before I die, Tami. Please. I did not answer Mama Nena. I could not. Forgive me before I die, she said, while holding the secret of my second child in her shaking hand, like it was something she could finally drop. Zion stood beside me in the ICU, his phone still showing the photo of the boy from Enugu. Same high forehead, same small gap between front teeth that Chuka has when he smiles. Same tired eyes as me after market day. His name is Zion too, my son whispered, his voice breaking. Obinna named him after you. Chuka pushed the ICU door open hard and saw the photo over Zion's shoulder. He stared, then his knees buckled, and he grabbed the wall to keep from falling. God in heaven, he choked. Twins. We had twins. Mama Nena turned her face away from us, tears running fast into her oxygen tube. I stood up straight. My legs were shaking, but my voice was not. We are going to the station. Now. I want to hear it from Obina's mouth. Zion drove us fast through Lagos traffic. Chuka sat in front, praying under his breath. Ifeoma and I held hands tight in the back. The live was still running on Zion's second phone, now at 2.1 million viewers. Comments flew, find the second son. At the police station in Yaba, Obina sat handcuffed to a bench, his shirt torn. He smirked when he saw us. Family reunion part 2, he said. I walked straight to him and slapped him across the face. The sound cracked. The officers did not move. Where is my baby? I asked. Obina laughed, holding his cheek. Which one, the billionaire or the mechanic? Zion stepped forward. What did you do with my brother? Obina leaned back. Mama Nena paid me 5,000 that year, not 2. 2 for the nurse, 3 for me to take one baby after delivery and tell Tami he died. She was afraid Tami would leave with 2 sons. I gave the baby to a woman in Enugu who had lost hers. She called him Zion because Mama told her that was the name Tami wanted. When that woman died last year, the boy came looking for family. I told him his mother was dead. I kept him working in my workshop. Chuka roared and lunged. Police held him. I felt the floor spin. You stole my child and made him your servant. Obina shrugged. I raised him. You abandoned him. Zion lifted his phone and went live again. Nigeria, this man just confessed on camera to child theft. Viewers jumped to 3 million a minute. Obina panicked. Turn it off. Where is he now? I shouted. Obina broke. He's downstairs. He followed your life from Enugu on a night bus. He's in the lobby. Zion. and I ran. Chuka ran. In the station lobby, under flickering light, stood a boy in a faded blue mechanic overall, holding a worn nylon bag. He was tall like Zion, same face, same eyes, but thinner, his hands stained with engine oil. He saw me and froze. He whispered, "Mommy." It was my voice from 21 years ago coming back. I could not move. Zion walked to him and put a hand on his shoulder. "What is your name?" Zion asked, tears in his eyes. "Zion," the boy said. "Zion Obina. Uncle said my mother was dead, but I saw the life. You look like me." I crossed the floor and pulled him into my arms, oil and all, and sobbed into his neck. He smelled of diesel and my own blood. He held me tight. Chuka stood behind us crying like a child. My phone buzzed. It was the hospital. I answered on speaker. "Madam Tami, your mother-in-law is crashing. She is asking for you and for both her grandsons." Zion looked at his twin. "Let's go," he said. We drove back to Luch with sirens. The live was still on, showing two identical young men holding their mother in the back seat. Nigeria was watching. In the ICU hallway, doctors were running. A nurse stopped us. Only two people. I went in with both my sons, one on each arm. Mama Nena opened her eyes. She saw them side by side and a sound came from her throat, half sob, half prayer. "My boys," she whispered. Chuka fell to his knees beside the bed. Mama Nena looked at me. "Forgive." I wanted to say no, but I looked at my two sons, standing together for the first time. I took her cold hand. "I forgive you for me, Mama. God will judge the rest." She smiled faintly and closed her eyes. The heart monitor made a long, flat sound. Doctors rushed in, pushing us back. Chuka shouted, "Mama!" Zion held his twin's hand tight. The doctor looked up after 3 minutes and shook his head. Outside the ICU, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. A woman's calm voice said, "Mrs. Tami Okoye, this is Dr. Joy Okoro from Lut. I have the original delivery file from New Haven. Madam, there were not two babies on that scan. There were three." The phone nearly fell from my hand. "What did you say?" I whispered. Dr. Joy's voice was steady on the other end. "Mrs. Tami, I am holding the original ultrasound from New Haven, dated January 12, 21 years ago. It is written in Dr. Emeka's handwriting. Triplet pregnancy, 3 viable heartbeats, mother cancelled on risks." I sat down hard on the cold ICU floor. Chuka grabbed my shoulder. Both my sons, both my Zions knelt beside me. "3," Zion the billionaire repeated. "Mommy, there were 3 of us." I could not speak. My mind went back to that clinic bed. Dr. Emeka smiling. "Madam, you're about 14 weeks gone. Your baby is fine." Baby, singular, not babies. Behind us, the nurses were covering Mama Nena's face with a white sheet. She had died with my forgiveness on her lips, but she had taken another secret with her. Chuka stood up slowly, his face wet. Mama had a younger sister, Auntie Florence, in Port Harcourt. She never had children. She begged Mama for years to give her a child if God ever blessed me. My blood went cold. We drove straight from the morgue to the police station. Obina was still in the cell, now sober and scared because the live had hit 5 million views. Zion put the phone to the bars. "You told us about one baby. Where is the third?" Obina looked at the 2 identical faces staring at him and started laughing, a crazy, tired laugh. "Ah, Tami, you were always too blessed. Mama Nena did not pay me 5,000. She paid me 10. 5 for the nurse, 5 for me to handle the extra trouble. Twins would be hard to hide. Triplets, impossible." Chuka punched the bars. "Where is my child, Obina?" "Florence, Obina spat. Mama's sister in Port Harcourt. She took the girl on the 3rd day. She named her Zara. She raised her as hers. She died 2 years ago. The girl is probably selling pepper in my one market now. Zion the mechanic, my second son, who only hours ago was fixing generators, stood up straight for the first time since I met him. I have a sister. We did not sleep that night. Zion the billionaire used his platform. At 2 a.m., he went live again from my shop, both twins side by side. Nigeria, he said, his voice breaking. Yesterday I found out I had a twin brother. Tonight I found out I might have a triplet sister. Her name might be Zara. She would be 21. She was taken from New Haven Hospital 21 years ago and given to a woman named Florence Okoye in Port Harcourt. If you know her, please contact us. The internet exploded. By morning, my DM was full of 14,000 messages, photos of girls named Zara, from PH, from Wari, from Abba. Then one message stopped my heart. It was a photo of a young woman in a university matriculation gown, University of Port Harcourt. She had my exact eyes, my exact small mole behind her left ear, the same one my mother had, the same one I have, the same one both Zions have. The caption under the photo, sent by her roommate, said, "Please help. My friend Zara has been looking for her real mother all her life. She was adopted." Her adoptive mother Florence told her on her deathbed that she was bought from a woman in Enugu for 10,000 naira. She's 21. She's studying medicine. She looks like you. I showed the phone to both my sons. Zion the billionaire started crying silently. Zion the mechanic just whispered, "She has your smile, mommy." Chuka read the message over my shoulder and fell to his knees again, this time in my shop, in front of the sewing machine where I had fed our family alone. "God," he prayed, "what have we done?" We did not need to travel to Port Harcourt. At 9 a.m., while we were still deciding, the bell on my shop door rang. Amara opened it. A young woman stood there in a simple jean and top, holding a small worn hospital bracelet in her palm. She was tall, slim, beautiful. She had my eyes. She had Chuka's nose. She looked at me, then at the two young men who stood up slowly behind me, both staring at her like they were looking in a mirror. She held out the bracelet with shaking hands. It was faded plastic, but the writing was still clear. Baby C. Okoye, female, 2.1 kilograms, New Haven Hospital. Mother, Tami Okoye. Her voice shook. "Good morning, ma. My name is Zara Florence Okoye. I think you are my mother." Zara stood in my doorway, holding that faded hospital bracelet like it was the only proof she had that she belonged to someone. For a long second, nobody moved. The two Zions stared at her like they were seeing a female version of themselves. Chuka stood behind me, his hand over his mouth, tears running down his beard. I did not run to her. I walked, slowly, because 21 years cannot be crossed in a run. I took the bracelet from her palm. Baby Se Okoye, female, 2.1 kilograms. My third heart beat. "My name is Tami," I said, my voice breaking. "I am a tailor. I was 29 when I carried you. I did not know you were alive." She nodded, tears already falling. "My mommy Florence told me before she died. She said, your real mother did not throw you away. She was robbed. She said if I ever found you, I should tell you she raised me with love, but she knew I was not hers." I pulled her into my arms. She was warm and shaking. She smelled like camphor and books. Behind me, Zion, the billionaire, put his arm around his twin brother, and his twin put his arm around him, and both of them wrapped their arms around us. Chuka fell to his knees on my shop floor for the third time in 2 days. "My children," he sobbed. "My 3 children. God, what have I done?" That afternoon we buried Mama Nena. It was a small burial in Enugu, no big party. Just us, me, Chuka, Ifioma, Amara, and my three children standing side by side in matching white. The pastor asked if anyone wanted to speak. I stepped forward. I did not curse her. I said she was afraid of losing her son, so she tried to break his home. In trying to keep one child, she almost lost three grandchildren. May God forgive her, because I have. Zion the mechanic, my second son, who I am now learning to call Zion Jr., held my hand tight through the whole thing. Obina was not at the burial. He was in Kirikiri, awaiting trial for child trafficking and extortion. The video he tried to use to blackmail us became the evidence that put him there. Sister Joy came to court and testified. She brought the original file. The judge did not waste time. A week later, I sat in my shop in Yaba with all three of my children around my small table, eating the same bitter leaf soup I cooked the night their father came back. Zara, who is in her final year of medicine, looked around my shop and said, "Mommy, you built all this with a sewing machine." I smiled. "With this machine, with Gary, and with God." Zion, my first son, looked at his father, who was quietly washing plates in the back, wearing an apron. "Daddy, you don't have to do that. We have staff." Chuka shook his head. "Let me. For 7 years, your mother washed for me. For 15 years, she washed for you alone. Let me wash for 1 year. I did not take Chuka back as my husband. That woman who loved him at 23 died in the rain that night in Enugu. But I allowed him to be a father. He reports to work at Z-Stitch Logistics every morning at 7 a.m. as a dispatch rider, like Zion said. He comes to the shop every evening and sweeps. He is learning humility, one broom at a time. Last Sunday, after church, the four of us, me and my three, sat on the floor of my shop like we used to when they were small, even though they are now adults. Zion Jr. asked, "Mommy, if you could go back, would you change anything?" I thought about the 7 years of waiting, the slap of the rain, the nights I drank Gary so he could drink milk, the years I sewed other people's clothes while my own children were scattered. I looked at my daughter, who wants to be a doctor for women who cannot pay. I looked at my first son, who builds apps to help market women. I looked at my second son, who fixes generators and wants to open a free workshop for street boys. I said, "No. If I had not been thrown out, I would have raised you in a house full of lies. The rain washed me out of a lie and into my destiny. The pain made you strong. The truth brought you home." That night, after they all left, I locked my shop alone. It started to rain in Yaba, heavy like that night in Enugu 21 years ago. I did not run inside. I stood in my doorway and let the rain touch my face. It was not cold anymore. It was not punishment. It was just water. I whispered to the girl I used to be, the one standing barefoot with a torn scan. "Tami, you survived. Look." Inside my shop, on the wall, were three framed photos. Now, Zion in his Forbes suit, Zion Jr. in his overall, holding a spanner, and Zara in her white coat. Under them, in my own handwriting on cardboard, I had written, "When a man throws you away, sew yourself back together." The rain finally stopped, and I was home.
So hope you enjoyed the story. Feel free to drop your comment. Tell me what you think about the story and subscribe. Turn on the bell notification icon. I'll be uploading a new story very soon. Stay blessed.